Welcome to Total Gemini. At Total Gemini, we are primarily focused on astrology, but we also enjoy the healing and therapeutic properties of various fragrances, the vibrational powers of crystals, and the overall human connection to our beautiful planet. You will find these other subjects sprinkled in, here and there, alongside our astrology topics. When someone asks, "What's your sign?" they are referring to your sun sign. However, your zodiac makeup is far more than just your sun sign. We have a rising sign, a moon sign, and a whole lot more. As we go through the weekly Gemini, these topics and others will be covered along with weekly tips for everyone, not just Geminis. But since this is brought to you by Total Gemini, there will, of course, be special extras sprinkled throughout, especially for all those quirky Geminis out there. So, let's get started.
The fourth week of 2024, January 21st through the 27th. And we need to celebrate. Mercury retrograde is gone. All those projects that you've had on hold should be safe to get back to, as Mercury is no longer casting its wicked spells against us. We start the week with the sun now in Aquarius and in the fourth house. Our zippy moon starts the week in Gemini, our favorite, and in the eighth house. Looks like we have a bunch of new things here from our previous 3 weeks. The sun is in Aquarius, the moon in Gemini, and the eighth house. This might be a long episode because we also have a full moon on the 25th. So let's get to it. All right, Aquarius, keywords and concepts. Aquarius is interested in ideas, abstractions, global and larger issues, trends and fashions, inventions, systems, groups, collections, progressive ideas and activities, and they tend to be unsentimental. Element air. Aquarius is the fixed air sign of the zodiac. Ruling planet is Uranus or Uranus, however you choose. Before the discovery of Uranus, Saturn was considered to be the ruler, and many astrologers consider Saturn to also be an important ruling planet of Aquarius. And yes, I am a Gemini, and I find Uranus funny. Okay, on back to Aquarius. Anatomy, calves, color, bright light blue. Some astrologers call it kind of an electric blue. Gems are clear quartz, Larimar, blue topaz, and yellow topaz. And flower essences for Aquarius is columbine, mullein, and goldenrod. I think it's mullein, might be mullein. Anyway, feel free to leave a comment and let me know how to say that. Anyhow, on to the next topic. The eighth house. The eighth house is associated with many different things, from inheritances to business transactions, death, and sex. A psychological interpretation of the eighth house is that it describes how you share and bond with others, whether you can make commitments to others, and whether you will abide by those commitments that you make. The eighth house encompasses all forms of bonding and sharing, especially strong and meaningful ones, and therefore has a big impact on marriage, sexuality, business contracts, and attitude toward money. And Gemini, keywords and concepts: curious, playful, inquisitive, quick, agile, light and bouncy, clever, immature, and disinclined to be serious. Element, air. Gemini is the mutable air sign of the zodiac. Ruling planet is Mercury. Anatomy, arms and shoulders. Color, some astrologers say a multicolored pattern, and yellow is another commonly chosen color for Gemini. Gems are aquamarine, citrine. Flower essences are chrysanthemum and jojoba. And then next, we're going to get on to this wonderful full moon, the first full moon of the year. The first full moon of the year. The 25th is the first full moon of the year. This full moon is the wolf moon, after the howling of the hungry wolves in the middle of the winter. Other names for this moon include the old moon and the ice moon. The moon is about feelings, and a full moon intensifies them. The full moon magnifies each astrological sign's moon characteristic such that people can feel their sign's moon stuff much more intensely. So, whatever your moon sign is, it's in full force with the full moon. Also, note it's during this time that the fruits of one labor is made obvious. See it as the moon shining light on the subject, the subject being any project or meaningful aspect of one's life. This is the time to see what you otherwise cannot see through the darkness. This is very brief, but I hope you get the gist of it. The moon is a big subject, and you can count on it that we will have in depth episodes covering it. For now, let's get on with this episode. Insights for everyone. On the 21st, mental stimulation and creativity is in the air. All you gotta do is just let your mind be free and flexible. This will be harder for some than others. On the 22nd, the moon and Neptune placements suggest that there's extra sensitivities. So everyone should be extra cautious about unrealistic expectations and an overall feeling of instability. Sense the mood. Try to stay positive and optimistic. The 23rd through the 25th requires you to think about work life balance. And then the 25th to the 27th is a good time to catch up with other people socially. And last but not least, this week's tip for Geminis. Heads up, this is going to be a wild ride this week. From feeling restless and contradictory at the beginning of the week to being happy and content by the end of the week. Best tip for Gemini is to engage in quiet reflection when feeling contradictory and being open to embrace deep, intense feelings with optimism. Have you been thinking about rearranging or organizing things around your home? The 24th through the 27th are your best productive days, with the 25th being the strongest towards changes in the home. And that's it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is Total Gemini at totalgemini.com. And come visit our website if you want to learn more, read more, and all that kind of stuff. Thanks. Bye bye now. And last but not least, this week's tip for Geminis.